this. This the first time I actually give this call, so kind of exciting and in a certain way also a little bit edgy, because like the first time I guess that I made up a call just because of people commenting and say, oh, perfectionism. I feel like, and I said I need to make a call about perfectionism because this is the one thing that a lot of people struggle with without really realizing. And again, we still have somebody that now at this point I'm going to ask to mute. Okay. And so therefore, I usually get prepared. I've done this call before, I get prepared, I rehearse, I'm looking some more research, I'm looking some more exciting to show you. This time, I didn't really get prepared. And I just put a bunch of stuff together in my mind, and I'm like, it doesn't sound all right to me. It's like, it doesn't really sound like me. It doesn't sound like what I'm usually doing. And then I realized it's like, this is but perfectionism anyway. So you have two choices. Either I cancel and I just make up an excuse and it's like, okay, let's move this for a week. Or otherwise, it's just the whole thing about perfectionism. It's like, this is actually what get people in trouble in the first place. Everything needs to be tried, before and done so many times and see if other people are going to like it and stuff like that. And so I realized, like, what better way to just go there and kind of wing it in a way. Obviously, there is some sort of a framework that I have, some sort of things I want to leave you with. But let's put it this way: I haven't really tried it through, so I don't mind making this available for a replay, because I don't feel it's gonna be like a super crazy good call, but it might be at the end, because at the end it's like I want to give you some like always something to remember, and I want to give you stuff that are different. And the one thing that I wanted to open the call with today is with showing you a few things here. Let me just open up a tab so that we can show you a few things. And what I want to show you today, in my opinion, the greatest performance coach ever, like bar none. 90% of the thing or 80% of the thing of mindset. If you go and research this guy, you probably realize is what I took from, or like I get inspiration from. And in my opinion, the highest performance coach ever. And obviously, it doesn't do fitness; it does business. But is one guy you might have heard about this guy or see about this guy, but it's definitely one guy that you either like or love. When you see him, it's gonna give you inspiration, or it's somebody that you're really gonna not like and detest. And because obviously it has a little bit of one of those that is like, he kind of like forces you to take action in a way, using self-esteem or using like insults or using like that. So it's something that you either like or you don't like. But for perfectionism, there is a few things that that decided I was like, yeah, this is the time that to show these people a little bit about this guy. It's a performance coach. It's a business coach. They call it the $500 million man, I guess. And obviously he does business. But I consider this guy a coach of mine. But like he said, 90% of people that he coaches, it never means it meets. He doesn't even imagine that they're coaching, because like everything is free on his website. And obviously, if you like this guy a lot, because you're gonna like or you don't like, you gravitate towards this guy. You just see all this thing on his website. You have the keys to become a millionaire. If you want to go into a business route, you just need to want to do the work. And of course, it's usually not a lot of people want to do the work. But this is exciting. I wanted to show you this guy over here. You might have seen this guy before. My opinion, the best ever, bar none.
You don't have to be a perfectionist
Damn page.
to make tens of millions or billions. What you have to be is focused. And, I came up with 4 words: just fucking do it. I could have written a book, but it means just pull the trigger. Just pull the trigger. And your mistakes and the things you're going to do wrong will pale in complexion to the successes you have. You don't have to be a perfectionist.
You can never make a perfect decision.
No. If you left it to engineers, no car would ever come off the assembly line. No car would ever come off the assembly line. And I've been in business with enough engineers, I can attest to that with my hand on my heart. they'd still be trying to make it better. And the internet business is very much the same. The internet kids want to test and test and test, and they want the landing page to be this, and roll it out. The great thing about the internet is your results are instantaneous.
And you can make changes instantaneously.
Correct. I mean, if something that I'm overseeing at Concord level, 60,000 feet, doesn't work in 2 days, can it? Forget about it, move on. And today at our meeting, now the young kids are, we ran it 3 days, sir, and we closed it down. And they are thinking I'm going to ask why. I said, no, that's fine. Next. But you're 2,000 cold calls away from being a millionaire. 2,000 cold calls away from being a millionaire. Say no to 1,000 things, like Steve Jobs said. No to 1,000 things, and that's including your spouse, your mom, your dad. Disconnect your parents from your phone number or your cell phone. I can see this going over like a turd in a punch bowl, huh? But oh yeah, you can block them. Okay, I had a kid, a convicted felon, 25 years ago, in Europe, and I saw him about 2 years later, and I said, "How things going?" He says, "Fine." But when my mother, and I said, "Put on your phone the message. If you don't have my new number, you're not part of my new life." And he says, "Everything went fine until my mother got the message." But you're 2,000 cold calls away from being a millionaire. 2,000.
How many of you know this guy? You need to research it. If you ask me, like, who would you follow if I want to get to results? One guy that I would tell you is this guy. Probably only guy. People like Tony Robbins puts ass in seats, paying hundreds of thousands of euro, dollar, whatever. This guy gives away everything for free. Do you want to learn how to buy a company with other people's money, to grow the company, to sell the company? Like, you get everything that you need, like, and this guy, like, everything is free. What I found it to be fascinating as these are the same exact thing that works on fitness, on health, on, because everything is everything nowadays is basically connected to performance, focus, and being able to do the things that we know that we need to do, being able to believe that that is going to get the results that we need to get, be able to believe into our abilities. And my opinion is like, much like there are a few others, but it's like better, bread and butter of what somebody can make you feel like this as a communication standpoint. I would look it up. I would say back in 2023 initially, but also probably finished 2024, September, October, probably a good year from now. I know this guy before. I was, and probably every single day that when I'm eating, I'm looking at something like, I don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk or some sort of motivation to keep me going, right? I have looked this guy day after day. In my opinion, is a huge component why we have what we have here at the moment, why I'm able to inspire some of you in a certain way. But I think that this can be, if you don't necessarily gravitate towards one person, you probably want to find one like that. Somebody that you feel reflects with who you are. Because again, a lot of insults, a lot of assumption, but when it comes to achieve results, achieve a performance, look no further. I wanted to show it to you because, like this, much like many other people, we always look at the successful people, us. We say athletes, actors. We look, I don't know, I like The Rock, I like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I like a lot of other actors, I like athletes, right? We always look at very skilled people and we say, oh, they are there, but I cannot get there. I mean, it's just, I am not like them. I just can, like that. Then I see, today I don't see her here, but usually we just ask Cecilia going to a bodybuilding contest, a first bodybuilding contest without any real preparation when it comes to professional. And in my heart, I know they're gonna watch this. I'm super proud. I don't know why usually she's here. I thought inside my heart, as like, I really hope she gets at least fifth place and up. because it's like for the dedication. Never in my wildest dream, and please don't take me when you're gonna watch the replay, never in my wildest dream I thought second place. Second place is as close to an achievement. It's almost like saying you're not the first one, but you're just a little bit less better. And when it comes to somebody that obviously have very, very good genetics, but a hard worker, when bodybuilding is a sport that you rarely get, you see now obviously different levels, Mr. Olympia, right? But like you or Miss Olympia, you get to 5th place and you work your ass off to so many coaches, all the strategy, all the things that theory said to do, and you don't get second place. So for me, it's like, it's a testament to what somebody can achieve. And you're gonna watch this, Cecilia, we're all proud of you. At this point, I'm gonna do my best to, if that's your career, to push it to that level, because obviously we see that it's not about how much you know, it's how much you do. And the dream that you say something, I wanna do it, I'm doing it. And again, this shows that in life, there should be more perfectionism. Because it's like, if somebody waits and say, oh, I'm never gonna win the contest because I'm just not one of them. That gets you to build this identity that you cannot do it, okay? And the thing is, like, the question is like, why do you hesitate, right? And it comes down again to usually, there she is. And we just talk about her. I want her to connect, because then we're gonna just say it again. Cecilia, unmute yourself for a second. I know you're here. I don't know if it's which one Cecilia is here. Cecilia Bonart or Larson? Oh, there you
Hi,
go. Yeah,
I'm here.
just talked about him. I just said we're talking about perfectionism, and I just showed a few clips before, and I just say before I said the proof about perfectionism doesn't exist. It's just what you just did, and I said, please, how do you say, forgive me for what I'm gonna say, but it's like, in my wildest dream, I just said, I hope she get at least 5th place and all, because for the work you put in, never I was actually thinking you were gonna get there. Why? Because it's such a difficult sport for judges, and I'm happy that my theory was kind of okay, and I said, if they're looking for somebody shredded, you're gonna do very good, because nowadays, everybody thinks you're gonna get big. Then you get too big and you don't get shredded. And I said, you cannot get there dry. You need to get there full, and you need to be dry in the same place. But again, I said, you're a testament for stay away from perfectionism, and it's like, just do the work, but believe in what your ability is. This is, in my opinion, it's like, you not being followed from a professional. I don't consider myself a bodybuilding professional, so never competed. And so I never took anybody to stage, or never even gave you some advice to go to. It's like, you technically the first one. So I don't think like, I'm not even gonna use that in a way, like, I'm not gonna try to attract bodybuilders in a way, but I'm gonna say, maybe we talk and we see if we may can, inspire some people. But it's like, I don't consider myself, and it's like somebody that get the results from no experience in bodybuilding, no professional coach. I mean, you did some poses and stuff, but it's like, that's amazing. That's amazing. So like I think everybody can say we're all proud for that part. But that shows that perfectionism doesn't exist. Because if you just said, I don't think I can do it, you got scared, you see this picture, and it's like, I'm never even gonna try. That means taking no action. And again, I just did a few business example before. Same guy as was showing before, he said, he always say something about the IQ of a person. It's like, there is 50 people IQ, and then there is 150 IQ, right? 50 people IQ is always very famous on making people money, right? It's like 50 people IQ make $50 million. 150 people IQ maybe make $20 million. So the IQ, what is the difference? Because, or maybe 50 make 50, and then 150 only make 60. And what is the difference? You should make more money correlated to IQ, because IQ doesn't matter. It's because the other person dreams bigger. The other person believe they can actually do it and do the work and do despite the results. Okay, this was very, very important to point out. And when it comes to perfectionism, a lot of people feel like, I'm not gonna do, I'm gonna kind of like hold back a little bit. I'm gonna try later. And I'm making an example too, is like, I just rolled out a stress test. The freaking stress test. Like you guys, I guess you saw the thing is like, and some really need it. Not only some on the program, but also some people outside from the program. Is almost like something I just said. Get a, if you don't have an iPhone, find an iPhone. You don't need to buy one. It would be stupid to buy one for detail, but like find an iPhone. Nowadays you have daughters, sons, friends, like you'll find one somehow, because a 6-minute test. Get a Polar something, which is basically I found it for 60 euro in some sort of website. And again, there are any kind, but it's like, when we get that, we can actually look at delta waves. Delta waves is like, shows the correlation between the stress on top. I was actually looking at before. This thing is like, let me just again, one more time, just to show also that people watch the replay. This thing is actually pretty useful, believe it or not only for losing weight, but to diagnose some sort of issues or issue. And I said, why don't we just, okay, this is what I ask is important for. I said, when my colleague told me, it's like, I said, oh my God, you just opened up something for me. It's like, I didn't even think this thing existed. The delta waves, the blue things over here, shows that these are GH, women hormones to lose weight in the night, melatonin, whatever. And this is a correlation between stress. If this blue is big, if you have low stress level, in this case, like more parasympathetic, doesn't mean that you're gonna have that. But if you have high level of stress, usually means that you're not gonna have that. But if you, like me, you have a lot of this blue and you have none of this, and you have none of this either in the night, which I have took some other tests of a lady in the group, and I have the same blue things in our day that I have in the night, it means I have fucked up hormones. Meaning like I'm missing something. And when it's crazy. I've been taking tests from doctors. I have been sleeping like crap. I have no energy. I have a bunch of like random health issue like that I thought is just signs and symptoms, right? That could potentially lead to something really, really bad. And I never really understood that was the case. But in my opinion, it's kind of like mind-blowing that a clinical personal trainer, which now is a doctor, has to tell me, rather than doctors, the specialists, the endocrinologists, that people that actually do this for a living. And I say, by the way, I might have some ferritin problem, but why the fuck do I sleep so bad? Why do I have energy? It's like, oh, you have, no, but that's normal. Are you sure? It's like, I don't know. Am I sure? You're the endocrinologist, the hematologist. You're that one person, not me. Like, you're supposed to tell me. And like, when I'm saying this, is like, nowadays we're able to go into conventional medicine or like into holistic medicine and figure out the stuff. And some people still find ways to tell me, oh, I don't know, I have to, I'll get it, but maybe I'll do it later or something. They procrastinate. There is like at least 5-6 people, right? And I said, okay, just go to the doctor, just get yourself checked, just in case, just to make sure that this is not the case. But if you have a stress issue, we could identify it. It could be your husband, your boyfriend, you just simply running just because you don't eat no carbs. Like, we need to know these things. Yet I always hear, like, I think I put it out, roll out of 1,000 people now in the group. I think I got like 3 people came back and said, oh, I want to do it. It's like, why whenever it seems so simple, is somehow too difficult to do? Because this is the simplicity here. Yet many people want to go to the doctor. They ask me, do you take the thyroid test? Do you take this test? It's like, this is not going to help you. Why would I take it? Do you want to spend 300 euro, dollar, whatever to get it for nothing? If you want, we can do it. Well, just get yourself a cat, a dog, or whatever. Like, don't just throw away. Like, just do whatever is told. And yet the perfectionism is always like, I'm going to do this later. Another example is like, for instance, like I made this example many times. Somebody like to sing, but they're not really gonna sing until they say, I need to learn sing before. It's like saying, so the Cecilia Joe is the bodybuilding. It's like, oh, I need to just get myself to the perfect level before. I just need to other people to make sure that they're not gonna win or whatever. And then I just need to other people get disqualified first, then I can go. That would be equal to perfectionism. The reality is that you need to fail, and you need that the failure is testing. Failure is just a try, it's just trying. But you don't have to use the word like I'm gonna just try. Like you just do the work or you don't. When you do it, you either do the work and it doesn't work, and we need to optimize. And basically, this is what we're doing in our program anyway. With whether or not you realize it, that you are all in the program. This is basically what we do in the program. It's like we get you to do something, then we identify whether or not it's working, and then we improve it. When I used to be a trainer, people used to come and it's like they pay me for 100 whatever it was for an hour, but then I cannot. The problem is that they go home, they do whatever they want, nobody cares, right? And then of course they feel like they're failing because they don't see results, and then they say to themselves this story is like, see, I knew I should get everything to be perfect because this thing doesn't work. No, you just need the right strategy, the right state of mind, and the right really coming in with this idea that testing is not bad. Okay, this not trying, but doing the work and then not. You need to achieve failure, in other words. Like you need to fail, but don't see it as a failure. More so like testing. Another thing that I wanted to show you is that that got me to think about that part is that if you see the mentality that will take you there, it needs to be such of a, let's say, an athlete in a way. And an athlete, I just looked it up. I was listening to a podcast listening yesterday. 0.012%, I think, of the people that get into the NBA, the national basket, like the US big NBA, everybody knows, are kids from school that are super good collegial athletes already. And this is the chance they have. Yet, the mentality they have, because I saw the documentary more than once, they get the best coaches possible. They practice so many hours. They test, they refine. When they are done, they always work on their off season, they work on the skills and whatever. And they know, despite them knowing that they're never going to say, hey, I'm going to be that 0.02, which is maybe 1 or 2%. They just say, I'm going to do everything I can to do my best to get drafted. So to get into that statistic, even I'm not. 95% of diets fail. So therefore, there is only 5% of people that actually can all-day diet. Funnily enough, people keep wanting to think that they're the 5%, which the statistic is, again, this is like they try something, it doesn't work. I'm going to try something else. It doesn't work. The statistic is there, it's going to fail 95% of the time. Shouldn't it be that maybe instead of the diet, we should actually work on something else? We should actually work on the behavior. We should work on what can we improve instead? What get me to fail 95% of the time? Should not be the focus instead, because people don't think on that way. So staying away from perfectionism is like focus on the thing that don't get you to fail the first time, because failure is testing. But if you keep testing and you're making wrong and wrong and wrong, knowing that you're doing it wrong, maybe it's not a good idea to do it again. So we need to do something different. Okay. So with this being said, there is the two really only thing that I wanted to leave you with when it comes to that. Number one, again, don't see failure as failure. So failure as a quest of improvement. And secondly, and this is huge because it makes perfectionism totally relevant, problems always get replaced from bigger problems. Because when think about perfectionism, it's like, I want to be perfectionist. So, that problem I have, I'm going to fix it. So there is no more problems. But problems always get replaced from bigger one. Now, for example, Cecilia's problem is like, how is she actually going to win? How is she going to get first place? That's more tougher than get until now to second place. Jokes aside, problems get replaced from problem. I see it in business. I see it in fitness. I see it in life. I see it's like, you only change when you change as a person. And obviously, I could give you some frameworks or some stuff to give you, but basically, the perfectionist paradox, which I already pasted, which I wrote before, really it's kind of like the whole juice of the whole thing. But again, you really need to let go of on basically this quest of getting do everything perfect, but more so on set realistic goals, having expectation that meet what you expect, because that doesn't mean like you have to dream big, small, but it means if I'm dreaming big to lose 20 kilos, 30 kilos, you need to probably give it something like a year, reverse engineer and say, what do I need? How many kilos do I need to lose by, let's say, this week, right? Okay, maybe you do the math and it's like 2-3 kilos per week, right? What am I gonna need to do to lose 2-3 kilos per week? Well, initially, I'm gonna take a month to realize how my body works. Secondly, now I know my body works like this. I need 3 workouts. I need 500 calorie deficit. I need to make sure I drink enough water and so forth, right? We move forward like that. Chances are, when your body starts giving you back some results, then you're gonna probably realize that it's gonna get harder. Now, for the same kind of results, I need to work out maybe 4 times. Maybe I need to walk a little bit more. And therefore, the motivation, and again, goes hand in hand with perfectionism. I'll make in a few days from now in the group a video about motivation. You realize that more motivation you put, the more results you get, the more work you need to put, more and more and more, and you get less results. And the motivation is correlated to the opposite. It's like when you get results, you get the highest, but then when you get small results, then it's gonna go down much faster. And therefore, it's very important to understand that the things that you need to do, the plan that you need to set, how many times do I work out? How many liters of water? How I need 2,000 calories. How do I plan my meals? I'm traveling next week. What do I have to do different than this week? Oh shit, I messed up. Now, okay, I don't need to get angry about it. I don't need to just binge over for about a week. I just need to figure out how to do things better. This is kind of like the logical explanation about it. So, as always, I'm not here giving you some specific things, but again, and again, I'm gonna one thing that I think I also Googled before some other stuff. How do successful people make decision? Again, you didn't know the guy from before. You might know this guy. This is more kind of like probably more, if you want to call it that, Insta famous. Let me just cancel. Actually, this is not. Yeah, this is the guy. Hold on. All these guys have the same trend. Like, and all of course, they're famous, they're wealthy, and it's just not like random that they're like that.
Things quickly so that I can sell things quickly. Because if you do it a certain way, you give yourself permission to ask other people to do the same thing. It's built-in ethics. At the end of the last year, on December the 13th or 14th.
Again, this is probably more recognized from some people, maybe not. But again, business coaches, performance coaches, athletes, they all have the same trend. Two things: focused, taking action, assessing the action, making improvement. That's as simple as that. You see it in collegiate athletes, you see it in actors. What we don't see when people are successful, we don't see how they got there. We always see like they're successful. We don't see the work behind it. And this is like, I think that this is more so a huge takeaway point here. Huge is like, if you need somebody to help you, then go into whatever field that you need help with, and then look at somebody super famous, how they did it, and look at the work, and then just do the same thing. Super simple is that. Nowadays, we can. In the past, there was no internet. We couldn't do it. With this being said, like I said, it was not meant to be something special, this call. Like, I just did it on purpose. I didn't want to do something really specific, because that's perfectionism. Like, I got a little bit of like, fuck, I'm not like usually, I like to rehearse. And I didn't want to. It's like, if I did that, it would take away my whole point. I tell them not to be perfectionist, but I want it to be. So it's like, let's just throw out something. And then I feel like it went okay. At least I can tell me now. But I want to open up for mics. I want to know if you have questions, if you have statements, if you have questions to ask me particularly to have, it can also be for your own journey if you want. But in regard to this topic, I know that a lot of you were interested on coming. Do you want to share anything? Do you want to ask, how do I do this? How do I, like, you want to give an example how you are perfectionist? Like, you can share, because I don't think I'm going to be able to, per se, give you a specific framework to work this out, or more so, I'm not going to be able to give you an answer on that sense, because like, I don't think nobody can when it comes to perfectionism. It's just really getting off from your own barriers and just taking action. But maybe you guys want to share something. It would be good. With it's only 9:23. I have a few more minutes to go. Unmute.
I can share
How you doing, Dori?
if um and what you've mentioned before, it made me think of when I did my photography studies a long time ago. I finished my studies, and then it took me years before I really started to work as a photographer, because I've been putting it off, because if I didn't do it, I couldn't fail. And so I felt like I wouldn't be able to be good enough to do it, so I didn't even try. So for me, my perfectionism, sometimes I still struggle with that I don't do stuff because I keep thinking about how I should do it to get it perfect, and I don't start before I know I'm going to do it perfectly. Which means that sometimes I don't do stuff that I really would like to do.
Yeah. How did you start the first photo? Because like that's, I guess, that probably that thing helpful for many people has the same problem. How do you start the first time that you started then to work as a photographer? How did that happen?
I can't take credit for that, actually. That's my ex who pushed me to do it.
Okay.
So yeah, but this journey of losing weight, I started by myself also, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just decided that I was going to do it, and then I found a group. So this went a little differently, but I think this was easier because I believed I could do it. But there's still lots of stuff that I struggle with, and I don't start with, because I first want to be sure that if I do it, I will do it correctly. But I'm getting slowly better, like with little things that I see something that I like, and then I want to try to make it myself, and I just do it now. So it's getting better slowly.
Do you have any framework to say to the other ladies, like how to kind of unfold? Or it's like me, like you, it's like I'm basically like the guy I show you, like probably good part if been following all these people all the time is like I can recall I was in the past very sensitive to dating people, right? Like I was very unconscious about my body, and it's like I said I'm gonna talk, and this I know it can reflect to people that look for a job too. Is like, or they're not sure how to talk to people. It's like very, let's say, shy or not. I said I'm gonna be the less shy person ever. That you're gonna like, people are gonna actually recognize me for somebody the opposite. And I started. It's like literally now I walk to the street. It's like if I like a girl, I'm gonna stop her. It's like, hey, I'm gonna say something to you. Like it's just like some people call it the rule of 5 seconds. It's like you have 5 seconds to either go, and it's like you stop, you just, even if it's some, because after 5 seconds, then it's like your brain goes into shut mode, right? It happens very rarely to me now. It's like for this, it could be also when I hear somebody say something stupid. I check, oh, I'm going away, or I'm gonna say it. Like they're saying something very stupid. It's like it's like it creates your character that you get perceived as somewhat of an asshole sometimes, but it's like, but in my field, which I have to be some sort of an inspiration, it's like I rather repel those people that they feel I cannot help them, but you also attract the people that you can, because those traits are important. And this is, like you said, photograph, because enough time you don't pull the trigger or you don't move forward to achieve what you want in life, then you just realize that there is something more valuable than anything else, than money, than love, whatever, that you kind of like letting go, and which is time. all of us are like, we all like to a war against the clock is like, you know, who knows when it's gonna stop. Like I just saw that. Have you guys ever saw In Time, the movie with Justin Timberlake? Beautiful,
Yeah, I
amazing,
saw it 2 weeks ago actually.
amazing. Like one of the like, because everybody thinks the currency is money all the time. Look at the movie In Time. Let me just see if I can Google it up like real quick too.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, right? It's like,
Yeah.
is this thing over like this movie is like In Time. Image. It's really, really entertaining. First, of course, it's borderline. It's obviously it's sci-fi. It's like never would be real. But I think he wants to give a specific
Yeah.
message.
Yeah, they want to make a point.
The point is like, don't waste your time, because the reality is like, you can always get your money back. Even if you lose a relationship, many people, oh, I got burned in this relationship, I'm never gonna date again. Okay, sure. Like the same thing, I burned into this program, I'm never gonna try the program again. Okay, cool. Does it fix the problem though? Can you get the results by yourself? I don't know. Do you want a relationship, right? You got burned so many times. Doesn't it say maybe you want to change something in your character, being a little bit more strong with the people when you get them in? Or it means like you shouldn't trust men or women, in this case, or women or men, whatever. It's like, that's a point, but it's like, you really want to, like, the currency is time, bar none. The most important, in my opinion, is like ever, because like you never get to somebody that bad and they tell you, oh, I just wish I had more money. No, they always say, I wish I was happier. I wish I had more time. I wish I had better relationships. I wish I had done more experience. And only can this thing happen when you say, if being perfect is what required for you to take an experience, then, or going over some fears or whatever, like until that you don't do it, then it's never gonna happen. And you in my opinion, if I would say that the photographer example, you want to make that fear irrelevant, or like kind of like saying, how many jobs can I take for this to be like almost second nature? For other people to tell me, oh, you look like a photographer that is famous now because like you've done so many things, right? In my opinion, it needs to become that. But again, you might have a different tactic, and this can apply, in my opinion, to anything in life that you want to do, like when it comes to.
But you're right about time being the should be the biggest motivator, but also like those expectations that you have of yourself, and that you connect your value to the successes you have in your life, but your value is not in the successes. It's at least it shouldn't be to the people that you love, and everybody's just trying stuff. And like I talked to I won't name your name, but I talked to somebody in the group this week during a call, and she mentioned like, yeah, but I never really talk about something that I want to try until I've done it for a while and I see that it's working, and then I will start to tell the people around me what I've been trying to do. Just to cover your ass in a way, to make sure that nobody sees that you tried something and it didn't work, because like your value would be related to the fact that you tried something, and you would be less valuable if you tried and didn't succeed. But everybody just tries stuff, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it doesn't define your worth. What defines your worth is how you feel about yourself when you keep trying, I think.
Yeah, the word is also important. Yes, like I said before, we always like to call it testing than try, because try is like is overutilized now. It's like, okay, I try, hear it all the time, I'm gonna try to be on time. You're not gonna try to be on time. You're either gonna be on time or you're not gonna be on time. Which by the way, both of them are totally fine. It's like, you can, as long as you can own it, why you're on time or why you're not, as long as you can just justify it and you feel like, okay, that's totally fine. But it's like the word you're using, the brain doesn't know, the subconscious doesn't know that you're saying yourself that to yourself. It's like you kind of like giving yourself an out all the time rather than give yourself an in. And the example I just made before is like, or you know, it's from another book I read, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's like when you see somebody, let's say, that can teach you a lot of things, and you say something that you want to be on, and you say, oh, I cannot afford it. It's like you can also think, okay, how can I afford it? Like there is two ways to think. It's like one closes the options, the other one open the way to kind of like think is like, okay, how can I just make things easier? How can I make things better? Because at the end of the day, it's important, right? And I truly believe that there is always going to be, there are going to be the statistics out there. It's like everything always, you have to think like everything always plays against you, my opinion. Like, okay, it's going to be much more harder than get whatever I want than I think. But yet I'm going to do much more work than other people, and I'm going to do that despite the results. Like this is kind of like my way. Do anybody else want to share anything? Because I find this to be really, really useful. Like I know there's going to be a bunch of people maybe texting me privately, oh, I wish, you know, like I had something, but like this time to say it, you're here. And anyway, I'm going to make you do an exercise for those of you that want at the end anyway, but in the group. But if you have any question about it, or because this is the time we can actually go into this. I find these calls to be very useful for this. And then our check-ins, which is me and Dori, then we go into all your tactics. And of course, we can always look at the detail, but these are the actual calls useful for when you want to share about experiences. And it's also useful for the other people, because if this call has like 2 or 3 shares or 4, then it's more useful for the people who watch the replay. Then obviously some people never get to know you, even in the group. Do you have any other example? I see a lot of people still with, I don't know if you guys, because you are naked or because there is no camera, which is the first thing about perfectionism, I guess, but it's okay. But just let me know, do you actually have anything to say or any question? Because again,
Claudia waving.
eh?
Hello.
Hi,
Do you understand me now?
please
And
stop, yes. I
Great.
know I want to say
Because
something.
my microphone was off in the beginning, so I couldn't say something.
Okay.
So first a joke, because I'm actually trying to not be so perfectionist, whatever. But the last 2 days, my husband and I spent like the whole days cleaning up our home, because tomorrow my mom and my godfather and godmother will come and see our home the first time. So to introduce it. And that's a little bit like being 21 again, having your first own home, and the people who raised you are looking for that and looking if you are able to keep up your own household. I'm 40 years old, by the way. So yes, we did that the last 2 days. And in the middle, I thought it is really, really stupid doing that, because nobody needs the allowance to live in their homes like it is. But at the end of the time, it's like, it's very nice that it's very clean now. And at least it's a little bit like we did stuff, we get things moved around, we made things which were lying there for half a year now. So I try to see the good thing. Still, it was perfectionism drawing us or driving us there. So, well.
Sorry, I don't know if that would be a way to say that you're a perfectionist. In this specific case, no. I know as you're very well now, but I would say you are one, but not in this specific example, because it's like if you finish and now you go back and clean again tomorrow, and then that would be more so like but you just did a very good job, I think, just to clean. But I'm happy to say that you, in my opinion, I told you many times, even privately, you made leaps. Like you just improved like much. Also like Lamis and Marcella been here like a long time too. A lot of people made a bunch of leaps moving forward. And I really think like that's a progression. And like those separates, because you are in the same program in a sense, like you might be different ways, but or journeys, same program. You understand, like the biggest reward for me is like you understand that for health, for journey, it's like you need to kind of like do something and then look at how it goes and then optimize. This is the biggest thing that I wanted to get you to do both, all of you, because it's like the thing that unfortunately is painted out there is like, you're just gonna do something once, you're gonna either achieve a result, so you're gonna feel so miserable inside that then you're gonna go for a different thing. And of course that builds up a whole industry of weight loss in dieting, the healthcare system, the things I told you, even I think I recorded a message for you. Like I said before, if you are, let's say you're missing some sort of hormone or whatever, that we can see it from the test, and you are 0, and then you are 10, you have the maximum, 0, you have nothing. And let's say if you are 2, you're very close to 0, but you're not sick enough for you to actually get help, right? And then when you are 0, you are too sick that it's too late. And why do they want to get 0 is because what they want is like, so that the healthcare industry can make money of people. So my message is like, stay away from perfectionism, but let's just get you a little bit better every day. Let's understand that to get in the health in order, it's like, it's a journey. It's like, we should strive to the best that we can to have a goal that we have even more. But then we understand that there is a process, not to get there tomorrow or quit or get really upset or expecting that we make a mess of our body for years and then we want to fix everything in 2 months. I mean, that's my I guess my big message. And it's been this message for me now for maybe like almost 10 years online, or maybe 7. But again, it's like, it's very, very, it's good when I see people getting it. I see a lot of people that had this expectation before and now they get it. And you're one of them, Claudia. So it's like, I think you're working very, very good towards the perfectionism. So good. Anybody else that want to say something about that? Because we do have still a little bit time. Anybody else? Any question, any shares, anything? Even the new people, I see Desiree, I think it's you, right? Marcela, Davida, Lisbeth, any question? You can also talk about something else too. It's like, if you have any question to ask about the journey that you guys are going through, anything technical, we can quickly, briefly cover it too. It's like, if you want. Just unmute yourself and talk if you have. Are you sure? Nobody? Lamis, nobody? Sure? Malin, Lisbeth, Davida, Desiree, nobody? Nina? See, you're cleaning, you're still working, Nina. That's perfectionism at this time, working. Only me and you can do it at this time. Okay, ladies, if you don't want to or don't have anything to share, I'm gonna give you a little bit of an exercise. So, because much like I am all the time, you're gonna remember this call and you're gonna say, oh my God, tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're gonna do something like that and it's like, oh yeah, that's me. That's perfectionism, right? Like, this is an example. What I want you to do is like, I want you to post something inside as a post in the group. And maybe then other people can post, or they can also do a thread, because maybe it's gonna be them too. Anything, any topic in your life that happens on your day, on your life, on your goals or whatever, you're gonna say, I think I'm a perfectionism because this and this and this and this. And then on the bottom, on the comment box, as other people are gonna for sure say, I am something similar like that, or I'm like that. You're gonna offer yourself a solution. How do you plan, based on everything that we talked about today? What is your best solution that you have to that? I don't want me being the one that gives you a solution. I want you to offer yourself a solution. I'm gonna try to read all of them, and I'm gonna try to give my input. I'm gonna try to say, oh, was me too. I'm gonna try, if there is indeed a small little tactical solution, I'm gonna provide it. I'm gonna maybe put a link. That can be something that we're gonna do. But just do this exercise. You'll be amazed how much you can just change your own perspective, because sometimes you just say, oh, I know I am like this, but I'm gonna take care of it one time when it comes. Thinking about, for example, Doris' example before for the pictures. It's like, oh, I know that I should work more, but I don't have a chance now. Or, what is the solution if we can use this example? And now, obviously she did it, but let's say the solution could be, let's say you also, I don't know, you're a photographer, you're a painter, and you say, I feel like I'm a very good painter, but I'm too I'm too shy I need the painting to be super perfect before then I put it, before even I contact a bunch of galleries to put the painting or before I sell it. The solution is, what is the solution in your opinion? Well, I'm going to tell you now what the solution it would be. The solution is like you wake up, you look at a list of people that could be interested on your thing, you call them up one day, and then you just say, you just give them your pitch, and it's like, oh, I'm a very good painter. Do you think you'd be interested to have my painting, one of my painting for free exposed there? And if we can make out of any money from it, we can do 50-50, whatever. That's a solution that you find yourself. That would be me if I had to find my own solution. So whenever you think that for yourself, rather than just say I'm going to improve, I'm going to give you another example, very useful for what we do here. Emotional eating. I was an emotional eater forever. Guess what doesn't work? I know that I shouldn't be eating that food. I'm eating anyway. And next time I'm going to do better. That never works. I done it 20 years and never works. Even now, I still sometimes find myself doing it. What doesn't work is like this. I'm a perfectionism towards food. I'm emotionally eating, for instance, right? Next time I'm going to feel that impulse. I'm going to wait 10 minutes. I'm going to try to accept the emotion. I'm going to try to see what to do with that emotion. I'm going to maybe write something down. I am not going to keep these foods that are kind of quote unquote food that are not for me in the house. If after all this thing I'm still want to eat it, maybe something physiological. Maybe I should just go outside, buy it, and then I'm going to eat it. All this planned step-by-step process that I came up with for my own emotional eating, if you just did it, instead of saying, I'm going to improve next time, which never works, you would have technically found a solution for your perfectionism in regard to food or regard to anything else. Do that stuff. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's really, really interesting when it comes to all that. Thanks, Dori, for answering the question and responding to this. Thanks a lot. Like that's
Yeah, I just wanted to add something that I was thinking about in the meantime, because I read some stuff also about perfectionism, and that it's a coping mechanism. Like in the past, you've been in a situation where you got maybe rejected because you did something bad or you made a mistake or whatever, and if that happens to an extent where you feel like unsafe, you will try to do anything to prevent yourself from getting in that situation again. And then you have this illusion in your head that if you would just be perfect, this situation would never repeat itself anymore. Yeah. And that's what keeps us from trying to get to this how do you call it? It's the unrealistic goal to yeah. It's just a coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. And that fits to your what you said, your exercise. Think about how this started and what you're trying to avoid by setting this goal for yourself to be perfect. What are you trying to protect yourself from?
That's an excellent viewpoint as well. Yeah, that could be like, you can add to the exercises like, I am perfectionism in this way, and I think this is the kind of like my explanation for it, and this is my solution on the comment box. It's like, it's gonna kind of like get you to analyze a little bit. By the way, what you just said is totally real. It's like, and my experience, especially when I talked for example, before talking to people, the first time you do it, you actually feel all this, this warmth inside. You feel like your heart's racing, and it's like all these emotions are really real. It's like stressing. When you say stress, you do something that is kind of fearful, scary, it scares you, right? But you do it anyway, because it's like the reward is unbelievable though. Like you have to try. Whenever this happens, like I think you wrote it also, Cecilia, about the show. It's like you feel your heart racing. Is something very uncomfortable. It's like but again, it's something that at the end is a reward. Even if I think I can speak. I don't know if you want to say about that, but I can speak to you. Even if you didn't get second place, even if you got 5th place, 6th place, whatever, it would still have been something, such an experience, right? Because like it's a reward. And of course, it's something that you only can do when you take action into stuff. Yeah, and it can be anything in life. So I think this exercise is worth taking a shot on.
Yes, I was really scared when first time at the stage. Before I was so shaky, and I had to tell myself, just do it. You have practiced a lot, you have worked hard, and yes, I used affirmations. Shine like the star you are, and stand on your legs and do your work. And then I just walked out, and yeah, I liked it a lot. So it felt really good when I overcome my fears, because it was scary.
Absolutely.
But I was also so excited to be there. So many lovely women and men, and everything around. They were really great. And you know, I missed the tanning. I had to get help fix it, but they were wonderful, everyone.
That's really
So,
good.
of course, I want to have the first place next time.
That's your next goal. It's simple. Like
Yes, but I think if I can be 1% better every day, I will be better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
A lot of good things happen in this group. I'm really super proud of all of you. Like everybody's improving, everybody. And guys, there is a high correlation between people that are getting really good in this because they come to calls, because they do their own work, because they never, not in the first time because obviously there are also people in the program, without making any names, that now maybe they're not in the program anymore. They decide, oh, I think that it's too difficult for me, or it's like, or they want to pretend themselves that they're changing, but they're not really. It's like the first obstacle, or maybe the second one, then you want to say, okay, it may be easier to look at whatever is green on the other side. Yeah. And the thing is, the reality is that the biggest gift I can give is like the power to change yourself. And I'm super proud because all of you present here and a bunch of other people in the group that are going to see the replay are like that. We just try to impact more people with this, meaning like I'll be more than happy to see people watching this replay and writing things down in the group. Like if you are in the group watching, like just write down stuff, like just comment, just make this exercise yourself too. You don't need to be in the program for this. It's like everybody should do. Because again, we can only change people that are willing to change. So super proud. Thanks for the share. Let me know if you have anything for me and Dori, for anything. We are here to help you. We are really determined for your results. We keep innovating stuff, putting new things in place, new tests, a lot of things, a lot of work on my hand to make this thing possible. Also, to in a way like, you know, we have to call up some institutions in your own places to see they can do this test for you or whatever. So in one way, there is a huge community to be built, but it starts from you wanting to change. And when, like she just said, 1% better every day. I used to be in the first business mentor I had back when I started in 2016. It was called the 1%, and this was exactly what it was. The motto is like, you need to be 1% better every day, and it's like you just by you doing the work that you should be doing, because guess what? It's like, if that's not the work you're going to be doing, then you need to do something more boring and something maybe that is not work. And then when something that is really work that you don't feel like that is not work, and then it's boring. It's like when you are with somebody, relationship speaking, for instance, that you don't feel really into place, and then it's like it becomes like work. It doesn't become good anymore. And it's like, that's for fitness, that's for relationship, that's for business, that's for career, that's for friends. You know, like that friends that it was good 10 years ago, but now you don't connect anymore. It's not like anybody's bad. It's just like the value are shifting. And I know everybody resonates with that. And it's like, it's not like make a person good or bad. It's just like somebody's growing and somebody's staying the same. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, keep me updated, okay? Some of you are also working with Massimo. Some of you are also working with me and Dori, of course. Keep me updated. Very, very important. I'm looking forward to see everybody's exercise. You can put it down on the replay of this, or you can make your own post. Well, I'm looking for a lot of threads. A lot of people can interact, because I'm really want to make this an awareness point to get people to understand perfectionism. This call, I feel like it wasn't my favorite one, but at least was something to give you to work with. Hopefully you find this helpful. We definitely, I think I'm gonna put a poll for the next call. We still have a lot of mindset topic to work on, and I wanna see which one is more interesting for lots of you. Okay, thank you so much, ladies. I wish you all the best. Keep me updated for everything, and I wish you an amazing night. Take care and talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.